What I'm now going to do is have a quick analysis of your upside down drawing. If you compare the top section that you did when you didn't know anything about it, you didn't know what the drawing was going to be of, you'll find that that top section is very accurate. As soon as you reveal a section that your left brain tries to tell you what it is, so for example this sample drawing, when you get down to about there, you start to think that that could be an arm. So every time that I'm trying to draw a line here, I'm fighting against my brain trying to tell me, I think I know what this is, I think this is an arm, I think I can help you. And more often than not, you'll find the more it gets closer to something like this that could definitely be a hand, or especially this, that is definitely a face upside down, the more out in terms of its accuracy your drawing will have become. So once you've done that, then you can just turn your drawing upside down, turn your drawing the right way around, and have a look at it for the first time. So you might get some of those parts that I mentioned, especially like say on the hand or on the head, where your brain tried to make sense of the picture in its upside down state. And if you notice, you'll probably see that those parts will be less accurate than the ones you did to start with when it was first covered up and you could first just see nothing, just see the shapes. When you were concentrating on it and putting the paper down, I'm sure you got to an area where you felt your head kind of moving, like you always try and look at it on the right way up. It's really frustrating if you look at an upside down image and you can't work out what it is. And that in essence is what you're trying to do. You're trying to confuse and annoy the left hand side of your brain so it quietens off so you can just concentrate on the actual shapes there. And then by drawing the shapes, because we've learnt about shared edges, when you just draw, this line that just appears to be a line, that's all it is. This line is no different than this line. But when you suddenly put them all together, your brain makes sense that this is an arm, this is a hand. And I think that's what's amazing about drawing to me, how that one line looks like nothing, but you start to put a few together and it all of a sudden creates something in front of you. So now what we're going to be using is what is called a picture plane. Now I don't know if you've got this from your shopping list, but it's one of the things that when you're first starting you think, I don't think I really need that, I'll just start with a pencil and go from there. But this is so important, even though that you can just see through it. When I'm looking at a scene to draw, I'm looking at it and I'm imagining like a sheet of glass, essentially like this, like a sheet of glass or perspex in front of me, and then whatever I draw is only on that plane, is only on that. My eye doesn't try and make sense of anything in front of it or anything's behind it, it's just what's on this plane. Dürer used this in his drawings. You can see examples of where he created a frame and he had a framework made out of wood and had string in a grid formation to section off what he was looking at. Much like when we move the paper down on this drawing, a section at a time, that essentially was like creating a little gridded section of your drawing. When I'm talking about the picture plane and this thing that you imagine in your mind, it can seem quite confusing when you're first coming to drawing. So don't be overwhelmed. I'm going to show you step by step how to use it, and hopefully when I demonstrate it you'll understand how to use it and how much it can benefit your drawing. Because what this enables us to do is to look at the world in 3D form in all its shapes and colours and everything going on, and to simplify it to a line drawing. And that is so essential to get the first starting point of your drawing right. So what you can do with this is you can use it, and this is with one of the wipe off markers. I've got a permanent marker here and a wipe off marker. I always label my permanent one just so, it's only with a bit of masking tape, just so I don't confuse the two. But what you can use this for is to draw onto the perspex.